Welcome to another edition of Hartford Community Leaders. My name is Lakia Siobhan Leitner, and today we'll be discussing women in business.
Let's talk about the Women's in Business event that happened on last week.
Well, on a previous show, we had women from all over that belong to an organization that I'm also a member of.
Okay.
And it's a business organization for women where we actually have 100% ownership in our business ventures.
Oh, okay.
So that's why the ladies were asked to come on the show.
Okay.
To inspire other women that if they have any type of business ideas, it can come true.
Mm-hmm. And you as a businesswoman, how is it for you, and how did you basically get started in your business?
Well, let me tell you, sad news. Before I started my business, a woman told me I wouldn't have a business. So despite the discouragement that I heard from a fellow woman, I still established my business ventures. That didn't stop me right there. So you're going to have people who are going to be doubters, but you have to believe in yourself and ignore them and do what you got to do.
All right. Hey, Lakia, could you give us information on a little insight on your business?
Yes, I have a nonprofit. I also have a publication. I have a network, and I'm working on a museum.
All right.
So those are my business ventures.
All right.
Yes.
And what do you do in your nonprofit?
Well, my nonprofit is for high school students, 11th grade, 12th grade, college women, and also college graduates. And what we do as a sisterhood is we develop programs for women that's in our organization to improve their lives. And we don't do any hazing.
All right. All right. And your regular business that you have?
Yes. My other business is a publication, a monthly publication, where I write different articles on different subjects, from music, books, latest fashion. Also, I publish advice. I also share personal experiences I went through in life, and a lot of other stuff that I add per monthly issue.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to read one of your publications, which is a Mixed Chick magazine.
Mixed Race Love magazine.
Yeah, okay, Mixed Race Love magazine. And tell us a little bit about that and how that started.
Okay, Mixed Race Love magazine is designed for biracial people or multiracial people. And the reason why I established that is because I'm a mixed race woman. And I saw that it was no publication out there for us. So I said, I'm going to make sure we have our own publication to show the world who we are.
Okay.
And different phases of life.
And you have individuals that's in that magazine from all across the country.
Yes, I give opportunity. Also, if people want to write in my publication, I actually publish the articles for them. And if people want to advertise, also, advertise for them.
And what type of stories do you have published in your publication?
Every month is different. Like this issue, I did some history, I did some Valentine's, I did some music, I did some advice, fashion.
All right.
So a little bit of everything. I like to bring something new every month. I don't want the same tired topics.
And you have one-on-one interviews with individuals, their personal story.
Yes, because
basically.
because I want people to, I want people to shine. I want people to be aware of who this person is. So I got to highlight certain people.
Tell me what inspired you to write.
Well, at one of my old colleges before I graduated, I was business manager and I was editor of the school newspaper. And that right there, I love writing, but even before that, my mother brought me my first journal at 6 years old.
Wow.
So that's what started my love for writing.
Okay.
Yes.
And what, and you started writing at a young age.
Yes, at 6 years old. When I first got my journal, my mom said you could write anything you want. And she said you could write your secrets in there. And kids, they like to hear that. So I wrote my secrets in there. And she said I won't read it. So I really filled up all the pages.
All right.
So that's what inspired me to be a writer.
What advice would you give a young woman who would like to succeed in the workplace or succeed in their business adventure?
First of all, I would tell the young lady, what do you like? What's your passion? What do you want to wake up every morning doing? That would be my first question for her, and then hear from her, and then we go from there. I can pretty much steer her in the right direction on how to establish a business, because a lot of people don't know the steps. They don't know you got to pay fees. They don't know you got to pay taxes. They have no idea. They just think, oh, and they don't know you got to be consistent. You know, one minute they want to start something, but you got to eat it every day. You got to eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And sometimes you got to work midnights. You know, but these young folks, they want everything quick. You got to have patience in the business world. You have to.
And the women that you got together with, you all have a women's in business. You go all cross country, talking to individuals, women, and individuals that want to get started in business. And how was that for the first time for you?
It was very, 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 very heartwarming, because I spoke to these ladies in meetings, but to meet them in person, it was very heartwarming. And I'm blessed to be able to have met them finally. After looking at them just in the meetings, you know, on our phones or computers. Yes.
And then how did you all connect?
Well, we connected because one of the fellow business women that's in our organization, she told them to contact me. That's how it all started.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so they just contacted you and said, hey, we want to come to Connecticut to talk about business and talk about, you know, how they got started in their business and ventures like that.
Yes.
And wow, that's great
Yes.
to be able to network in a circle.
And people I don't even know.
It's that's wonderful.
Yes.
That's wonderful. And so you moderated for this forum on the other week, and so how was that for you to be able to moderate and then talk to the women and ask them questions about business, and how was that for you?
It felt really good to do it that day. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to doing it again.
All right.
In the future.
All right, Lakia, you said you have a publication magazine, nonprofit, and so what other type of business do you do?
Also, I have a network as well where I gather shows, people's shows and so forth, and I air it as well. And also, I'm working on a show for myself. I have a title already. I want to air that as well.
All right.
So that's what that network is for. And then my museum that I'm working on, I want to have it in Washington, and I want it to be dedicated to biracial people and multiracial people.
Okay.
So that people know that we do exist. You know, because everybody else, you know, from different racial groups, they have a museum. So we should have a museum as well. So that's why I want to establish that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you also, I was reading on one of the social media pages that you do marches. You've done marches in the past for women, empowerment sessions for marches, and tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the reason why I even wanted to, sign on to be an organizer and host for marches, because of my other education that I have, which is women's studies. Every women's issue is dear to my heart. So why not add another event to it, which is the March for Women, so we can all get together and discuss the problems that we face on a daily basis, and also work on resolving these issues.
And so I saw numerous of, postings of the different, questions that people had for you during that march, which took place on last year, right?
We had it at the Capitol.
And how were you able to set that up and to, it's a lot to put a type of program together and to get, hundreds and hundreds of women to come up from across country for your event like that, and then actually, have them in marching in our Connecticut area for the women of was it Women in
Connecticut
Business?
March.
Connecticut March?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, okay.
Well, first of all, before you start any march, you have to know what kind of march you want to have. Also, you got to fill out paperwork for the Capitol. You can't just show up and say, hey, I want to do a march. You got to, again, it's a process. Like in business, you got to fill out that paperwork. Then you got to get approved. You see? So once that is all set, then you can go forth with your march.
Do you think women feel intimidated in business? You know, I think I've heard this question asked over and over again, and we've got mixed emotions on mixed feelings on that question. Can you give us your insight of that?
I think for the women in our past, they were intimidated. But let me tell you, the women these days, we're not intimidated at all. We'll get a, sorry to say, I'm not bashing men, we would get a man fired without no hesitation, or we'll report him. So women, I don't see no intimidation in my generation, maybe my grandma's generation, but not mine.
And yeah, I mean, as far as you know, work is concerned, moving up in the workplace, is it something that you feel that can be done or cannot be done?
Yeah, it has been done in my generation. We taking men's spots. You know, we coming in there, you know, with our education or experience, and we taking over men's jobs. Where my grandmother era, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't happening.
Let's take, you know, for instance, you know, we heard some women say that they do feel intimidated. Can you talk on that subject?
Well, the only reason why they probably feel intimidated because they don't have confidence in themselves, you know, and that's, you know, a lot of women, they feel insecure and they feel overpowered from a man. So of course they're going to say that. But if you have confidence in yourself and you believe in yourself, you wouldn't feel that way. So that's what it boils down to those women. They insecurities.
All right, and let's talk about, continue to talk about your business ventures and what you do. Is that all that you do, or is it, did we miss out something?
No, I do a lot of other stuff. You know, I serve as first lady. You know, at you know, at a church, and I develop programs for women. So I do a lot. I'm also chairwoman for the National Women's Studies Association. I do a whole lot.
When do you find time for personal time?
Well, I make time because the thing about it is your health is your wealth. You cannot overwhelm yourself with life. You know, you got to take some time out, you know, for self-care.
I think we, you talked about balance in when we had the forum for the women in business. Tell us a little bit about some of the comments that were stated, basically.
Well, our guests, they discussed their work and balance lifestyles. For me, I balance because, you know, if you don't have that, then how are you going to get things done? How are you going to take care of yourself? So that's my feedback on that. Is that you have to take time out for yourself, you know, and put work set aside, you know, and have some fun. You know, life is not just about work. Have some fun. Take some time off. You know, visit loved ones because, you know, tomorrow's not promised. One minute you see your loved one and then the next day you probably won't see them.
Right.
So take time for the people that you love because they're not promised. So that's my advice for women, you know, about balance and working and so forth. Take time out.
And I noticed that there was a few comments that, you know, stated that, you know, we take, you know, a few hours here and a few hours there to take time out. But I think that you have to take time out for yourself. You know, when you're doing so many different things, and when do you take time out and say, hey, you know, I want to, you know, watch a movie. You know, I want to grab some popcorn, watch a movie, you know, watch my favorite television program, you know, which is Hartford Community Leaders.
Right, that's right.
You know, yeah, you need to take that time out to, you know, relax and go on vacation, you know, like you said. Is there anything else that a person should be able to do in order to relax?
Yeah, well, first of all, a lot of people that don't relax, they're working overtime, they have health issues, like they had heart attacks and strokes, you know, because they're not balancing things. They're
Right.
working.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have time for yourself, you know. So that's my advice. Take some time out for
Yeah.
yourself to do the things you love and,
Yeah.
and visit those loved ones.
Yeah, yeah. I think too to go to a massage therapist.
Yeah, that too. Go to that. Go
Yeah.
to a spa,
Yeah.
with your girls or
Yeah,
with your
or
fellas.
gym. Yeah,
Yeah, the
and
gyms.
do a little workout.
Yeah, and get your mind off work and have
Yeah.
some smiles and laugh and crack
Yeah.
jokes. Have a good time.
Yeah.
Go to the comedy club.
Yeah.
Crack, listen to somebody make you laugh. And
Yeah.
do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
go to the beach.
Or take a walk to one of your local malls.
Yeah, get some
I think.
exercise.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's how you can free your mind
Yeah.
of the everyday work.
Yes, people have to realize they're not born to just work. You're born to enjoy life.
Yeah.
Because life is short.
Yep.
You want to have those memories.
And how do you achieve work-life balance?
I would have to say God. I talk with God and I tell him what I want. That's just me. A lot of people are atheists. So for me, I'm speaking on behalf of myself. I believe in God. And I talk to God and I tell him what I want. And, he makes it possible for me,
We have so many women out there that would like to start a business. What is the first step that you would say that in order for a woman to start their business?
Well, first of all, as I stated earlier, what are you passionate about? Don't just go into a business and you're not going to be passionate and consistent about it, because then you're wasting your time and other people's time, and you're wasting life. So why start a business and you're not going to be happy in it?
So what you're saying is that they should have a plan.
Exactly. Plan out what you want to do, and then from there, go file for your business. Pay the fee. Then the IRS is going to contact you. How much taxes you're going to have. Little stuff like that. So that's the basics. Plan out what you want and then file, pay your fees, and then go from there.
And I hear so many people say, "Oh, I have a plan in my head, about what I want to do."
But you got to have action behind it.
Yeah.
And
and I don't have anything in writing. I don't have a bio, I don't have a picture, I don't have any of those different things that require myself to advance.
Well, to me, that sounds lazy, because let me tell you, our email sections, they have it where you could do a bio. So, if you have a template on how to do a bio, why wouldn't you have a bio? There's no excuse. To me, people like that are lazy,
Yeah, and so and I always tell men and women, individuals trying to start a business, to make sure that you have a plan. Like you said, plan, and also have it laid out on paper. A plan isn't a plan until it's a written plan.
That's right.
And so what you do is write out the basics, the who's, what's, when's, where's, why's, how's.
That's right.
And just go from there.
That's right.
And how you want to achieve your goals and objectives. What are some of the things what are some of the other businesses that's in relation to your field? What are they doing? Compared to what am I doing? Am I doing the same thing that they're doing?
Or do I want to stand out as being unique? And
Right.
there's nothing like being unique, because once you're unique, you draw in the customers. Customers want something new. They don't want the same tired stuff.
Right.
So come, if you're going to do something, do it, unique.
Yeah, and we see that in the local businesses, in the local areas here in East Hartford. You see, people having sit down and eat type of restaurant feel.
Or they got a barbershop next to another barbershop, or salon next to salon.
Yeah, it's like
you gotta come different.
Yeah,
you have to.
Yeah, and so we had different women that came in with the different businesses. What were some of the businesses that came in, individuals, and what did they do?
Well, one of the ladies from California, she actually has a media business, and where people rent equipment from her, and for a monthly fee, and she let them, record whatever they want to record, and then she airs it on her network. That's what her business is. The other lady's retired, but when she was in business, she was a business coach for women and men. And another lady, she's actually a New York realtor. So, and her husband's an architect. So that's another guest of ours. And the other ladies had a bus company. They had that going on.
Construction.
Yeah. Then the lady from Miami and another one for Texas, they have telecommunicating businesses. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the lady from Virginia, she has a publishing business where she published books. Yeah.
And tell me something. What have you learned about leadership?
I learned that leadership, although you're the boss, you can actually learn from your employees, and I like that because everybody, you want to have people on your team that bring something new, new ideas. You have your ideas, but nothing like working with people that you hire and hear their ideas so everybody can work in harmony. Because then they won't feel like, oh, she's the boss, but she running the show. You might run it first. You might run the show certain times, but let your employees have their say as well. Because a lot of people leave businesses because their voice is not being heard, and then most people are leaving to open up their own business. You see, so if you want to keep your employees, you need to listen to them so you can keep them, and they won't run off.
And and what have you learned as an entrepreneur? Coming this way, and is a second fold to the question, and also the third piece is mentoring others.
Well, I've learned as an entrepreneur is that you have to stay consistent. And I knew I would be consistent because it's what I love doing. And then, what was your next question?
As a mentor.
As a mentor, I enjoy mentoring other people because before I started my business, as I stated earlier, another woman told me I want to have it. So I make it my business to encourage whether a female or male on it can happen.
And why are you so successful in your ventures and the women? Why are they so successful in their business?
Well, first for me, again, I'm a spiritual person. I believe in God. So I believe God put those visions in my head. I made them possible. And I stay consistent as well, And I have people that's in my life that really want to see me succeed. So they're there. They're my support system that I so need. So I think the other women, they will agree on those pointers that you need those to survive in the business world.
And what is it that you can do to be successful? I mean, what are some of the things that you can do to be successful?
Well, first of all, you have to know what you want to do as a career. That's the first start. And then from there, you have to act on it. You can't just be saying, oh, I want to do this, but you're not putting any action with it. So those are the steps to, being successful. And also you have to stay consistent. You have to eat it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and sometimes you have to work overtime, late nights. So those are the keys for it.
And we talked about we talked so much about, the women in business, and then also what you've, been able to, grasp in life with the business ventures. When you're talking to and mentoring to students and things like that, now what are some of the questions that those students ask you?
They always ask me, why do I want to establish the businesses that I have? So that's the first question they have. Yeah.
And why?
Yeah.
Why did you establish the business that you have?
Well, because it didn't exist. So I made it exist. I put it into action. So I just let those students know that when you have an idea, you might not have the encouragement, but just do it because that's self-fulfilling, that, you did what you thought of.
And I want to say that, too, when you're starting off your business, there are so many different documents that you need, and so I think one of the things that you can do is we say this all the time. You can go out to our Google, and we partner with Google, and so you can go out to Google and to the Google Drive and basically share documents, and all of the documents are right there. Whether you want to create a resume, or whether you want to start a business plan, all those things are out there in Google Docs. And and so many people don't even know those documents are right there. You know, they're into their Gmail accounts and they don't understand. You know, they're just getting their emails, and you know, you can do so many different things. Presentations there. You can work on proposals. I just created a proposal for mentoring for our schools and mentoring our students.
You could do your budget.
Yeah, your budgets, annual budgets there, PowerPoint
Yeah.
presentations. Also, you could do your portfolios. So if you're in business and you have clients, you can actually create a portfolio of all of your clients that you have. And then what you can do is you can take that document and say, hey, you know, you have a listing of all your clients that you have. And so people want to see what you do. And so they say, hey, I've worked with company A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you know, in your plan, in your proposal plan. I mean, in your presentations. I'm telling you, there's so much that you can do through Google Documents, and a lot of people just don't access it. You know, I was talking to a young lady yesterday that wanted to, you know, get a job. And you know, she had been, you know, applying to get a job, and you know, everything was being denied, and the reason why, she was just filling out applications. And when I explained to her that you can create a resume onto the Google Drive, she was so happy for that information. She didn't even know that that information was present in there. You know, and so, you know, you can do that, and then work with individuals in the community organizations that can help you create a master plan. When we talked about plans for you, you can go and you know, ask those companies and those organizations, say, hey, you know, I'm just a self-starter in my business or my schooling, and I need to have, you know, documentation of what I'm doing, and how can you help me, you know, succeed. And so that's where you have to do it, and go from there. Another good opportunity for an individual that's in business is to go to the SBA, Small Business Association. When I started my business, I went to the SBA and took few classes for the SBA. You know, you take a class that shows you what type of business that you want to do. You want to set up a basic business, you know, or a LLC, liability company, and so you can. There's different forms of businesses that you can set up, organizations. You know, I mean, there's a numerous of things that you possibly can do, and so we're here to discuss with you what you can do, and how you can do it, and why, and the when you can do it, and start now.
Also here in East Hartford, the University of Hartford, your alma mater, they moved from your campus out here for business owners as well. So that's another place you can go and discuss your business ideas and put it into play.
Even Goodwin College, they offer, which is located here in East Hartford, Goodwin College. They offer
It's Goodwin University now.
Yeah. I mean,
they switched it. It's not switched it.
And then they offer different classes that they, you know, that you can have to, you know, and to about business, different types of business law. You know, if you want to be a lawyer, you know, we know of one of our guests that was on that, who wants to become an aspired lawyer.
Yes.
You know,
He graduated from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you could take classes for that.
That's right.
Any different things that you want to do, there are resources out there for you to make it happen.
That's right. But it starts with you. You know, if people want something, you got to work for it. And it's not going to fall on your lap.
And we have so many, and I'm telling you, we have so many East Hartford high school students and high school students from across the Connecticut area that watch our program.
Yes.
And, you know, every time we talk and we're telling them about the program, they're out there watching. And, you know, we get so much of feedback from our students in those high schools. And one of the things that they love about us, because we bring it to the table. You know,
Yes.
we bring our experience to the
We don't
table.
sugarcoat anything.
Yeah.
We tell it like it is.
And you know, you mentored for one of the high schools, East Hartford High School.
Yes, I'm a mentor there. I also do lunch and learns there, and I do the alumni panel, and I'm also part of the alumni organization as well.
Right, right.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm very active at my former schools. Yeah, and even my former colleges, I do the same work there as well.
Okay.
Yeah, this never stops.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we haven't covered about the women in business? Now, also, on last week, let's talk about the University of St. Joseph and your endeavors through the women's program there.
Well, recently I got a chance to unveil my women's suffrage poster. I actually won a contest for it. So yeah, once I got that opportunity, I knew I was gonna win. Not to sound cocky, but I knew I was gonna win that poster contest because I love the women's studies field. So when you love something, you're gonna make sure you do your best and win, and that's what happened. Yes.
And actually, that was the same day we had the 12 women
Yeah.
come in. So we had a full power
Day.
day for that particular day. In that evening,
Yes.
you did the women's suffrage.
Yes.
Let's talk about that and how that got started.
Well, the women's suffrage movement is actually the 2020 anniversary of the 19th Amendment. So that's when the contest was open. I made sure I applied for it and I won. But the event that took place, it was in honor of the 2020 Centennial. So a series of a panel of women that some work in the women's studies field and some just don't. But yeah, it was like that during the event.
And what is the women's suffrage?
The women's suffrage is a movement that started in Seneca Falls, New York, that wanted to give women the right to vote and also run office. So Connecticut finally, being the 39th state, adopted that new law. Yes.
And it allowed women to
vote and also run for office as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And is this movement still active now, or is
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
something that happened back? Because I know it happened back in the 1800s or 1900s, right?
Well, the 19th Amendment, it was ratified in 1920. So yeah, 1800, Seneca Falls, they had their first meeting in regards to the road to the 19th Amendment. And then 1920, August 1920, the 19th Amendment came into play, and then Connecticut adopted it in September of 1920.
So was the women's suffrage movement established just here in Connecticut, or was it worldwide or nationwide?
Well, first it started in Seneca Falls, then it branched out to other states. Because other women, they was like, oh, Seneca Falls doing it, we want to do it. Because they saw the need for it. They were like, oh, they feel the way we feel. Yeah. And the men like it because then once they thought, first of all, the men was against it. But then again, men that was running for office, they said, wow, just imagine the women being able to vote. That's more votes for me. So then some men was on board, but some men weren't on board. I mean, police officers were arresting women, when they were protesting and having their marches. So it wasn't a pretty road to the 19th Amendment. It just didn't come up like, oh, it's gonna happen. No, it was really, really tough on the women that was fighting. It really was.
And we had so many different women that came in from all across country that was at the University of St. Joseph in West Hartford.
Yes.
And so we were there, and I had an opportunity to talk with some of these women, and they are women in business and women who just love to aspire other women. And we had some aspiring speakers. And I was so shocked that we had so many young college students that was aware of what's going on today in our country. And they are aware of everything, business, interaction with the universities, politics, everything. And so that was great to, be able to, see that and know that our young people, some of our young people have grasped a hold of the movement of organization and their civic duties.
Well, the reason why those students are like that is because they're our generation. Our next generation, they're going to have to take over things. So it's good that we have a few that's engaged to make changes that we so need.
And I like that. People are not acceptable to change now in business. You have to have change in business.
Yes, you
correct?
do, because you have to stay in business. Why keep doing the same things? It's new technology coming out. You
Right.
gotta get that new technology.
Yeah.
You want to keep the customers in. You don't want them to say bye. Then you're out of business.
Yeah.
So change is necessary in the business world.
Yeah.
You gotta change.
Yeah. And take advantage of new technology. Like you were saying, applications. Nowadays, there are phone applications. And a lot of the like recording devices and things like that, where you paid hundreds and thousands of dollars for those items. Now you can get a little application on your phone. You hit one button,
Yes.
and you're ready to go.
Yes, people can shop on your app too,
Yeah.
or visit your website,
Yeah.
or interact with you or
Yeah.
other customers. So the apps is the way to go.
Yeah, social media.
Yeah.
Also, YouTube. Also, So definitely, these are the things that we do in the business world, and we want to thank you and the women in business that came in on last week to moderate this forum, and you moderating the forum. So we want to thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Donald, and
Yeah.
thanks to Chuck as well. And again, thanks to all the ladies that came from all over. That's part of the organization I'm a member of. Today I have the extraordinary ladies from the Women Business Enterprise National Council.
Lakia, being here with this group of wonderful ladies and being in the context of us co-authoring the book together, we're talking about business and entrepreneurship and also leadership. And I just wanted to share this experience. I'm a translator by background. I went to school, got my master's degree in translation and interpreting. But this is a second business of this nature I have owned. And so what I do is no longer the practical hands-on translation interpreting, but I manage businesses that do that and employ a lot of people who do that for companies. I would not be able to be here today if it wasn't for a lot of people along the way who lifted me and who I could learn from. I am a lifelong student of business. I did not go to school to study business. This is all trial and error and learning something new every day. WeBank as an organization has been extremely helpful because a lot of members in that organization live by the motto, lift as you rise. And I think this is a good place to say thank you to everybody in this group for being willing to share with anyone out there what their journey has been like. And for us, it's been a great opportunity to learn from one another. Thank you.
Thank you. I would agree. I think everyone sitting here is an entrepreneur. And one of the beauties of being an entrepreneur is seeing opportunity and rolling with the opportunity. So in my world of New York City luxury real estate, I realized there was maybe some people were not getting the opportunity in the middle income and lower income, and it became affordable housing as an opportunity where we were able to utilize our women-owned business for that particular focus. And this year, loving real estate, but knowing there's so many other interesting fields out there, technology, cities getting smarter. We developed a new company called Smart NY Solutions, which is a smart city provider, smart city solutions consultant. So keep things interesting, keep on thinking, keep on growing.
When American Express reported that less than 2% of all women business owners make only less than 2% make $1 million, and I'm on a mission to change that. So there is lifestyle business and there's legacy business. For those that want to have a legacy that they can pass on to other generations, possibly sell, it's really important to get up and over the 1 million mark, and especially if you're going to do business with corporate America, in certain categories of spend, they expect to see 5 million, 10 million. So I'm on a mission to help women business owners grow their business and protect their business. And in coaching all these women, they seem to fall in 3 buckets, and it's very emotional. The first bucket is, I know I can do this better. I've been abused at the workplace. Nobody's appreciating what I'm doing, and they get out there, and when they launch their own business, it is amazing. The second category is family-owned business. That is not easy. It is a challenge, and many times you were seen as a child in the family, and now you're put into a leadership role. And so I've coached that group. And the third bucket is the one that really melts my heart. It's someone who had to rise up out of adversity. There is one woman business owner that I coach. Her husband was an NFL player, a legacy, and a champion. And when he passed away, she had to rise up and take over a business. And it was amazing. These 30 people looked at her with fear in their eyes, and she is now running a substantial business and has clients like Raytheon, Southern California Edison, many municipalities. So I'm here for you, and I will do anything in my power to help grow your business.
Hi. First and foremost, I would like to thank you for having me here and being a part of this panel discussion. I'm Julie Parmar, the founder and owner of Vegetarian Naturals. Vegetarian Naturals is an all-vegetarian vitamin line. That means all of our products are 100% vegetarian or vegan formulas, gelatin-free, and made with all natural sugar, color, and flavor blends. Sustainability defines our mission and what defines us as a company. We currently have a Kids Whole Life line that we sell on Amazon, and we do have an adult specialty line that is currently in production. And we are proud to say that we are WBENC certified, which is Women Business Enterprise National Council, and I believe that's what brought us ladies all together. Thank you.
Hi, thanks for having me. My name is Lauren Sustak, and I am the president of Bartkowski Life Safety. We're a specialty contractor in the commercial construction industry. We work in both existing facilities and new construction buildings. We have a national presence, and we're celebrating our 10th year in business. Our mission is to prepare now for the future. So we do that by working with our clients to ensure that their buildings stay code compliant, both as that code changes or as their building changes. One of my missions, personally, is to introduce as many young women to possible careers in the construction industry. Thank you again, and I'm honored to be here with everybody. Oh, that was horrible.
Thank you, Lakia, for having me. I'm Leticia Latino Van Splunteren, CEO of Neptuno USA, a company that has engineered, manufactured, and installed over 10,000 telecommunication sites. My personal mission is to advance workforce development to bring gender equality to the telecommunication industry. Now, with the advent of 5G and smart city, this is an industry that's really pressured to create, a new generation of workforce. So my message is to the young people out there, to women that think that telecom is not for them. There's space for everybody, and the telecom industry needs you.
Hi, my name is Suzanne O'Brien. Excuse me. Hi, my name is Suzanne O'Brien. I'm the CEO and founder of Blake Ryan Consulting, and we are a staffing company that works within different verticals nationally. We focus on direct hire, contract to hire, managed services, and payroll services for our clients. Our goal and mission is to really become a partner with our clients and really understand what they're looking for, as well as on the candidate side. Our motto is, it's not about putting someone in the seat, it's about finding the right fit.
I have a little fun fact I want to share. Video is 600% more effective as a marketing tool than both print and direct mail marketing combined. And I'm Marcy Klein. I'm the CEO of Klein Creative Media. I'm an Emmy-winning television director, and I love telling stories with video and helping people's businesses grow through their video content. So I'm very passionate about what I do, and I'm really amazed and honored and humbled to be with this prestigious group of women who I really admire and look up to, and I'm really excited that I get to be in a book with all of you. And thank you for having us.
Hey there, I'm Kristen Billingsley. I'm the president of Heavy Duty Bus Parts located in Willis, Texas. We are a custom seating company as well as lighting and aftermarket parts. I also am the owner of KB's Community, which is a health and wellness center and event center with, I'm going to start that over.
Yeah, be you.
Yeah.
Be you, girl.
Also, I am with KB's Community. So it is a health and wellness and event center located in historic Montgomery, Texas, as well as a farm-to-table eatery. I would like to thank Tara with TNS Publishing for bringing all of us wonderful, amazing ladies together. Yes, there's so much love between all of us, and being with these ladies and learning and growing with them on this journey is super exciting. And we are all going to have so much fun. Mwah!
Well, I just want to take a minute and thank a couple of people that helped guide me along the way, which I think is real important. So, first and foremost, my parents, absolutely. But the first architect who gave me my chance. So, Walter McKee, thank you.
My name is Chris Jones, New England Flagger Services. I want to end by saying thank you to all of these lovely ladies. Can't wait to start the next chapter of my life with these ladies writing a book. And I do have to put one little public announcement out there to everyone watching. Next time you drive through a work zone, please slow down. Yes. That is somebody's mother, father, sister, or brother trying to make a living. Yes. Thank you.
How do you achieve work-life balance?
I'm not myself much of a believer in work-life balance. I believe in work-life harmony. And you can't separate one from the other. For example, I feel very responsible for my employees. It's a serious thing to me that I have employees. As far as I'm concerned, they are my family. I can't separate work from life just for that reason. I'm dedicated to helping them grow, but I'm trying to work in an environment with them that helps them have a life outside of work just as easily. So what we did, for example, at the end of last year was we completely changed our handbook. Our handbook, where it used to describe how many days of vacation or time off somebody has, now says if you need time off, take it. So everyone can be there for their kids when they have a game and they need to be there. They can go to doctor's appointments. They go pick up their mom at the airport. Nobody's asking questions about why. So I really believe in harmony between work and life, and I do my best every day to help those around me live that way.
So it's always a huge question, work life. It's very hard to manage, and I think the harmony comment is absolutely appropriate. And I think at different stages in your life, when you're at different spaces or places, you have to alter and change. When my son was young, I altered and changed how much time I could be with my clients, the people that worked for me and with me, and how much time I could have for my family life. As he gets older as a teenager, when we don't talk as much, and he needs me a little less, so I think some people here can relate to that, there's a different balance. And so you just have to forgive yourself a little bit and go through and adjust. I think the key is adjusting and being able to sort of feel good about it inside.
I think a lot of us are calling it work-life integration. You've got email that's available 24/7. You're constantly on. I think this is the opposite advice I would give on this one is learn to say no. And I think it's really important that you protect your health, that you protect your mental state of mind. And as individual CEOs or presidents of our own companies that we run, if we say yes to everything, it's very dangerous for our employees and it's very dangerous to us. So this is the opposite advice. Please be mindful of when to say no to protect yourself and your employees.
Thank you. I feel that you should have an equilibrium in your professional life as well as your personal life. And I'd like to dovetail what she said is that you need to be mindful of going too far with your limits and make sure that you set time for your family life as well as your personal life, and multitask. And learn to use your personal time productively as well if you need to check emails or if you have to relay some messages to customers, to learn how to fit that into your schedule. Thank you.
So when I think of balance, I think of equal, and I don't have that. So I call it work-life sanity. So it just like harmony. I keep my sanity by being very intentional with my time. When I'm at the office, it is planned out. I don't have time to waste. I am very intentional. So then when I'm with my family and my children and my husband and my friends, I'm very intentional with that time as well. That's how I keep my work-life sanity.
Well, to me, the balance is impossible to achieve. I think we all have to think about priorities. To me, family is number first. That will always be my priority. If there wasn't for the family, I could very well not work at all. That's what really I want to keep in check. I come from a family business. I remember my dad telling me I could have had a much bigger company. We're a 250 employee company. And he said, but I could decide between that or not taking you to the beach every Saturday like I did. And that has always resonated with me. You have to make an intentional decision of what you want to achieve in life, because if you pursue the goal only, you might forget that the goal is really at home.
I agree. I think, family is first. I am very guilty of not achieving the work-life balance by any means. I do prioritize, it's very important for me to take my son to school in the morning. So I'm up at 7 a.m. on email on my phone. I do have a great network at home privately, as well as a very involved husband, which is very helpful in family. But it's difficult, but you do have to really decide, what's important. Are you going to feel guilty missing something, or are you going to feel guilty pushing a meeting off an hour? And so I really just try to figure out in the moment what is going to be beneficial for both sides. And it's hard running your own business, especially with a million things going on, but you just really have to decide what's most important.
It's a tough one because I don't think I have it wired completely myself, like the rest of you. But one thing that I do for myself is I do put my love first. I love to go surfing, and I schedule Fridays. Like on Fridays, I do not book a shoot in the morning unless I really, really have to. But I take care of me. And when I'm happy, then I come home and I take really great care of my kids, because they know when I've surfed. If I haven't surfed that day, I'm not that much fun. So everybody wants to protect mommy to make sure she gets her surfing in. And I do. I'm the same. I have two teenage boys, and I spend as much time with them as I can. And if they've got a doctor's appointment, I will put something off and hold an appointment till later so I can go do that for them. Because I do think that family, this is the reason we're doing this, really, to spend time with our family and doing things we love.
So finding balance in life, that is an aspect that we all strive for, right? And part of that is being present in the moment and loving yourself enough to say yes or no, tapping on what everyone else is saying. But to just be present in the moment. So wherever you are, be focused in that moment, not worried about what's happening in the future, not worried what's happening in the past, not worried, just being present and owning where you are and loving yourself enough in that moment.
Can I add one silly thing that you guys probably do too? When I go home, I'm mom. When I'm at work, I'm the boss. Mm-hmm. But it's hard. Like my husband doesn't really have that figured out as much as I do. But I think as ladies, we do that, right? I don't know.
Well, I will definitely tell you this is my biggest struggle, and it's lessons learned the hard way. When I started out, and I think most of you can agree, you're working more than you ever have, and you're putting 110% into that, and you kind of lose sight of, the other things. Most definitely. So just remember that, your family should always come first. So, just stay humble to yourself and try to learn how to manage your time the best you can. it is a struggle. Everybody deals with it daily, but it can be done.
Well, the short answer is I go snowmobiling and I raise alpacas. And I love my alpacas. I'm kind of in a different stage. I've been in business for 12 years now. My kids are grown. However, I'm very active in my 8 grandchildren's lives, like getting them on the bus and helping out when needed. Sometimes I have to reel myself in and say, Chris, work is what you do, it's not who you are. And when I put that in perspective, it really helps me put everything else in perspective. I actually have a tattoo of a red-tailed hawk on my arm. If you know anything about the red-tailed hawk, they keep things in perspective. They look at things from a higher view, objectively, before making any decisions. And so I use that mantra, whether it's a work decision or just meeting someone new, not making judgments. So I try to keep myself at an even keel, but it's taken a lot of work. It's not always easy.
1, 2, 3. Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Lakia. Thank you.
It's about that time, and yeah, you have your last words.
Yes, my last words is for anyone that wants to start a business, make a plan. After you make the plan, put into action. Go file those necessary documents, pay those fees, and make sure you are consistent in your business. That's the only way you're going to make it.
And I think, too, another encouraging word I will give individuals is encourage yourself. You know, if nobody else don't encourage you, you have to encourage yourself. You have to motivate yourself. You have to inspire yourself. And then also look for other mentors to inspire you and what you do. All right. And so that will be my last word. Well, it's about that time, and it's been great to be with you, and we'll see you next week.
Have a marvelous week. Bye-bye.
All right.